point, and probably for the past few years. But
Vidya, I'd like to ask you a question.
Oh God. Okay.
Tell me, what is the most difficult thing you find in acting?
I think on different days it's different things, Shabana ji. I think it's just because I'm not at all a trained actor, right? I have no tools to fall back on. Whatever, I think, therefore, before a film, I always sit with the director and try to understand the world, the character from the director's point of view. Because, like you said, it is a director's medium. And then I'm constantly, that was something I wanted to ask you, because I'm constantly finding my way through it. And on a day when probably I'm physically tired and therefore emotionally I'm unable to connect with my body, I think sometimes it's just walking from here to here with, purposelessness. That becomes very tough. So there's no one particular thing that I find tough. But one thing that I'm dying to explore is comedy. Because I think I've not really had the chance to do comedy, and I feel...
And she's very good at comedy, I can tell you, because we are good friends.
Thank you, Shabana. And I feel like physical comedy for a woman, like, the only time I can remember physical comedy being done by a woman was Sridevi in Mr. India. And you saw glimpses of that in other roles of hers also. So I just feel like that's something I'd like to explore, but not any one. I don't think but I'm always nervous. I guess. You talked about having butterflies in your stomach before a show, but do you feel anything of the sort when you're approaching a new role in a show or a film?
Yeah, of course I do. Of course, because I told you that the minute I start getting smug, it's the end. But I'll tell you two things. One, how I approach a role is different each time. Because sometimes I just peep through the window and then go back. Sometimes I enter from the back in the kitchen. Sometimes I open the door and go straight into the drawing room. It is the character that invites me in different ways. So there's no one way that I can say. For instance, I did a film called Khandar and I did a film called Monday. And Monday I landed straight in the drawing room. Khandar में जो window खोल के फिर चली जाती थी, फिर उसको देखती थी, because मैं कुरेद रही थी अपने अंदर ये लड़की किस तरह से मैं. And I find that process interesting. But the one thing that I find most challenging about acting is speaking previously rehearsed lines and give the impression of the first time. That to me is the most challenging thing. अभी भी हमारे सर में dialogue delivery is a very big thing.
Right.
Now, of course, it's becoming less and less. But silences are easy, especially in cinema, because you know कि अगर 75 का close up है, then all you need to do is look up and it'll be effective. But जब आपको बोलना है, तो आप कैसे करेंगे ये? That for me is something that I continue to feel. I continue to feel that this is something that I still have to get.
But since it is a director's medium, क्या आप झांकने वाली है या कूदने वाली है? Is that dictated by the director you're working with, or only by the role?
By the role.
So you're not really, you wouldn't.
No. I listen to my director, I argue with my director, but if the director is convinced that this is the way of doing it, I go along with the director against my best instincts.
And has that served you well, or have you a lot of times, like, that's the other thing, right? When you work with so many actors, directors, writers over time, do you sometimes feel like, I know you spoke about not wanting to be smug, but it comes with the kind of experience you've had, right? Do you just feel like saying, मुझे पता है मुझे क्या करना है?
No. No, I don't feel that, but I'll tell you a very interesting experience that I had with Aparna Sen. She's a very close friend
Right.
of mine, and I really respect her a lot. I did a film called Sati
Yes.
with her. And in that, this is in the days that Sati was practiced, there is this young mute girl who is considered a burden in the family and gets married to a tree. So when I'm mute in the film, it was a Bengali film, and I thought of her as a bull. So I had thought of her as just going about, her work, impassive face, and completely like a bull. And she said, but Shabana, I see her like a fox. And that took me completely unawares because a fox is so alert and so, but it's the complete opposite, right? And my God, it made me so nervous. And I kept telling her, but I can't do it. And she said, all right, darling, you do it the way you want, and you do it the way I want. And then you watch the rushes and you decide for yourself. And when I saw the rushes, I knew she was telling the truth.
Right.
But I couldn't get myself to do it. So that to me has been my biggest failure. Biggest failure. But it's just something, and then after a while I started getting so terrified that I forgot basic, small techniques. For instance, मुझे अपना face लेके अपने knee पे डालना है इस तरह से कि मेरा face visible, and I wasn't able to do it on the show. The cameraman said, "What's the matter with you?" And it's just that I was so petrified. And then after that, I did 2 films with her, which were perfect. 3 films with her, actually.
But why do you see it as a failure? Because you and she looked at it differently, because you played it both ways, and you agreed that her interpretation was.
But yet I couldn't do it, no. Yet I couldn't do it. So I was making a hash of what she was saying and what I was thinking, and I just got locked in it. In my entire 50 years, I think that has been an experience where I felt really bad that I let down the director.
But did she say?
Very frightening.
Did Aparna say that you let her down?
Sorry?
Did Aparna say that you let her down?
Or this is in your head?
I had told her, and I think because she doesn't want to break my heart, she says, nahi. But I think she was disappointed. I think she was.
But therefore, who is a kind of director that you work most easily with? What is the kind of director you work most easily with?
Mahesh Bhatt.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's a great segue into.
Mahesh Bhatt, my God, when we did art, I'd done 2 films with him before that. And obviously he was going through a personal crisis. And we didn't have a script. We
Oh,
just
really?
had a story idea. We had a story idea. We didn't have a script. And as we were shooting, it went along and it was all very ad hoc. I would wear my own clothes and turn up on the set. But there was something inside him, and it was like he would press a button and immediately I would start. I mean, it was just amazing, the experience I had. And at that time, if he gave me a difficult scene and expected me to do it right away, I should say, I can't do it, I can't. Artificial conflict is not allowed. We don't have any time, you better do it. इस तरह से वो बोलता था. और वो जो telephone scene है
I was going to
उसमें,
come to that.
I had completed my work in art. And he rang up and he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm going for shooting to Filmistan. I don't want you to give a full take. I just want you to give a technical take, close, and I need Praveen to follow you. I did that shot in 1 take, and I was out in 10 minutes.
No.
I was out in 10 minutes, and I think always that,